Good morning. Good morning. We are here to talk about the top stories in the market this week. This is the Sunday Finance Church brought to you by the Black Wealth Rebels. My name is Jimmy. I'm here with my brother Corey. Corey, how are you, good brother?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm doing great, man. Kamari is handling landlord duties this morning, so it's just us here. We'll be here for a short time, you know what I'm saying? But it will be a good time. We're going to talk about some market stories and we're going to talk about inflation. You know, that's a big thing. The hidden credit risks that are happening right now on the market. We got some AI talk. What else we got? The government shutdown that's going on. So that's, part of the news as well. Trade and global relations are also part of what's going on now. So just a little bit of everything we're gonna talk about this morning. Like I said, we'll be here for a short time, but a good time. We want to make sure that we do drop some information this good Sunday morning, man. But Cora, how's your weekend going thus far, good brother?
I mean, it's going out. I, you know, I was with y'all yesterday on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
at the joint that y'all spearheaded for the sorority.
Yeah, man.
That,
Shout out to the Deltas, man, for that invite. That was super dope, man. And they were super appreciative, and all the feedback thus far has been amazing. So salute to them.
um that was an incredible experience. Then I watched the MMA fight yesterday. I was a little disappointed by that because the boy got poked in the eye. Uh,
That's always terrible, man. That's the thing about prize fights, man. Whether it's MMA or boxing, man. Sometimes when they don't live up to what you know what I mean, it's a hurt piece.
yeah. I mean, it looked to be like they was gonna be getting, they was gonna be fisticuffed down, and it was gonna be a good fight, but it never got to that point because the boy got poked in the eye.
Yeah, man.
So
Listen, we got a number of folks watching this live. If you are here live, please leave us a comment. Let us know who's here. How you feeling this morning.
I watched the young boy VJ Edgecombe yesterday too, man. Like the Sixers, man. I think they did their thing with this draft, man.
It's interesting because as he calls himself playoff P, I call him podcast P. But when he comes back, I want to see how he fits into their lineup.
He doesn't.
Um What's also interesting is the NBA in general, like outside of the Sixers, all the big, it's the NBA finds a way to be mad dramatic all the time. It's always drama. I'm like, hold up, we like one weekend, Wemby looks like an alien. The Sixers got a rookie. There's a whole gambling conspiracy going on that with the mafia and the NBA. It's
it's,
like
it's
it's
crazy.
mad drama everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
it's dramatic. It
KD
is
out here putting up
dramatic.
no. Yeah, it's like dog. We had one weekend and they always find the NBA does this though. The NBA is always finds drama, man. Like I know they're trying to compete with the NFL, and the way they do it is like straight become a soap opera because the NBA always got craziness going on, man. But they ain't wait no time this year. It's like we one weekend and that's what it is, man.
Let's get
Um,
it. Let's get
yeah,
it
let's
going.
get right to the nonsense, man. Let's get right to the nonsense, man. Also, man, so yesterday I was after working, in the morning and then the afternoon, did a couple real estate things. I was taking a break and watching some TV yesterday, man. Your guy Tyler Perry got to be stopped, yo. I was
I
I was
wouldn't.
watching. I
I
was on
wouldn't.
Netflix. I was on Netflix watching that what show is that? What's the name of that show, man? It's the cuz it was two of them, but I'm like, yo, he just got to be stopped, yo. And here's the crazy part about it. I was telling my wife, I was like, yo, he got to be stopped. She's like, yeah, but you keep watching. I was like, that's the thing. For whatever reason, I can't cut this nonsense off. But I know it's nonsense. You ever watch something that you know is
Oh,
nonsense, but
sure,
but you're like,
100%.
I know this
I
is
know it's
complete.
nonsense, but I still can't stop myself.
I'm like, this is complete. It's the joint with the family. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, it's a show on Netflix. It's the family that owns the beauty company, and they just be going through beef. It's almost like a Black Dynasty, but it's mad. It's so overly dramatic and drawn. Anyway, he gotta chill, man. So today is Sunday, man. We got football to look forward to this Sunday. We got this upcoming week in the markets and everything, man. So we got some folks checking in with us. Thunder's in the building. What's up, Thunder? Thunder was like asking a question to you too, Corey. Who was it that fought yesterday, MMA wise?
It was Cyril Gahn and Tom Aspinall.
All right, Sarah Gunn and Tom Aspinall. Okay, cool. Jarrell, what's good, Jarrell? Hey, Jarrell. Kamari said he went back and re-uploaded that is only available in the village, the LLC video that he did with Kelly. Let me know if you can see it now. I just want to make sure you guys are getting that content because, like I said, that's a village exclusive right now. And I got some. I'm going to upload some stuff today. First of all, I'm put all the previous Sunday and Wednesday shows in the village as well. But I'm also working on some other village only content myself for the day. So, you'll
Yeah.
get that there.
So I'm actually reading a new book. It's called Political Panorology. Um,
Whoa. Send a picture of that and send it to me. I ain't never heard of that book.
so it's
OCL
by,
Sportsman is checking in from Rosenberg, Texas. What's Rosenberg close to? Well, actually, gonna say outside of Houston, right? Because people be in all these places, and every time I ask them like, "Where's that at in Texas?" They be like, "Right outside of Houston." I'm like,
yeah, because
Houston,
Houston is so
Houston got
large,
a
right?
30, 11 suburbs.
It do. It's a dude named Andrew Lobachewski. So basically, he's a Polish uh, psychologist who studied the history of all of the evil totalitarian governments
Do
and
you
what
have
they
a
had.
physical or digital book?
I got it on Amazon actually. It's a
Okay, all right. Because someone was saying, "Could you hold it up?" But if you got the Amazon joint, it don't matter. And
yeah.
by the way, Jarrell said that joint was ass. Talking about the fight. I don't know if you know guys know this, but Jarrell is a former MMA fighter himself. So y'all don't want no smoke with Jarrell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jarrell. I don't know Jarrell might have them cauliflower ears, man. Like I see dudes with cauliflower ears, I just stay away from them, man.
Absolutely no smoke with those guys. If they got cauliflower ears, back up. Give them all the space they asked for. Like you don't want no
Yeah,
smoke.
dog. I'm like, how are you today? Like, yeah, I'm mad, polite to dudes with cauliflower ears. And I don't want no smoke, man. Leave me
Listen,
alone, man.
Jarrell, for the record, boxing was my first sport before I got into any other sport. So MMA is like the natural progression for me for combat sports because boxing is ass.
Yeah, boxing is ass. It's the thing though. Like watching boxing when you watch a great boxer, but outside of that, overall, it is ass. And MMA is interesting there because I've a UFC, been a UFC guy, really since the very beginning, right? When I saw the
Yeah, man. I used
Gracies,
to, yeah,
when
I
I
was
saw the
about to
Gracies,
say
I'm talking about
for the
before they even
crazy.
had weight classes, right?
Yeah,
Before they had weight classes, that
he
was
was
my
fighting
first
five
intro.
hundred pound
Dog,
500 pound goon.
at the time watching that, I didn't even know what Brazilian Jiu Jitsu was, man. I'm from Germantown. I don't know what Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is, but I see this skinny dude choking out everybody, and I'm like, hold up. What is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you fighting somebody of 5 times your size and they like tapping out? Like, so it was very interesting to say the less, man. So I'm from the ultimate. I watch all the Ultimate Fighters or whatever. So lately, it's funny though because lately the UFC has taken another step, and that's kind of where I fell behind. I used to watch every single UFC, but they didn't have as many. There wasn't as often as they are now. Like now, they consistently are out here, getting to it. So yeah, man. But it's definitely interesting to see the progression of the sport and to see where it is now. Uh oh, Jarrell said, yeah, I saw this actually up. Pause, but yeah, but yeah, no doubt. All right, I'm glad you can get the content, beloved. All right, he said show that book, but yeah, he said he got it digitally, Thunder. So I don't know if he can show it if it matters, but um, what I'll do is I'll okay, there we go. I can see it. Political panorology.
Honorary.
Okay, all right, there we go. That's what it's called. Political panorology. Thank you, appreciate that. All right. Yeah, we can see it, Corey. It's good. Shout out to the folds. Sugarland and Houston is see, I told you I was gonna be right outside of Houston, man.
Yeah, Sugarland is not that far from where my folks is in Conroe.
Okay.
Also, so yeah, Sugarland, Houston, us all in the same area. It's all in the same game.
Yo, so it's funny, right? I spoke at an event in Houston a couple years ago, and it was downtown. It was right by the Rockets Arena. And I'm from Philly, right? So when you're from Philly, New York, big cities, like the city got it be popping, it be people outside, right? Houston is weird, bro. Like after the workday is over, like I went outside and there was nobody to be found. And I'm talking to like people. There's a couple people around, like where the hell is everybody at? Ain't no restaurants open, ain't nothing going on. Like I could walk to the Rockets Arena and go see a game, but outside of that, it's nothing going on. It was like nobody lives in Houston. I said, what you mean? They said people work in Houston, but nobody lives in Houston.
Everybody live in the
Everybody lives in
suburbs.
some suburb of Houston. Yeah, like Houston got a gazillion suburbs.
Yeah,
You
everybody
know,
live in the suburbs and commutes in. Yeah.
so that's an interesting real estate study in itself, right? Because
Also,
Houston,
the wards be popping though. Like
yes, it's by ward.
if you come back around, when the sun go down, the sun go down, the parties go up. Like
So for me, that's interesting too, right? In terms of being something to study from a real estate standpoint, because Philadelphia is both the city and a county, right? and Houston is broken down into wards. Now we have wards in Philadelphia too, but they're political boundaries, not necessarily anything to do with real estate or
Yeah.
geography. From that standpoint, it's really about politics. But what's interesting to me is like Houston has surpassed Philadelphia in terms of population, but I guess that's counting all the different counties, and you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Because
so what happens is they absorb some of those counties, and so some of those counties used to be named something else, but now they're just part of Houston proper.
oh, Houston
So
proper, okay, okay,
so
okay,
there's all of these suburbs of Houston, but they didn't. They're now suburbs of Houston because Houston absorbed some of the other suburbs. So Houston has actually grown.
interesting. Because I know Houston is. I was speaking to someone. I got offered a job down there before. It was for Harris County though.
Yeah,
And I guess
Harris County
Houston.
so
Houston
that's
is
the county that Houston is in.
okay. All right,
And
got you.
then so I'm 15 minutes outside Houston, but I'm in Montgomery County.
Interesting. So when I guess what I got to figure out is when they count the population of Houston, what are they counting? Are they counting Harris County? Are they counting Houston proper? Like, I guess
So
that's what I got to
Houston
look.
proper is how Harris County. So yeah, they're
Okay.
just counting. It's huge because again, it's expanded because a lot of the little towns that were other municipalities are now
Mhm.
actually Houston.
Interesting. Interesting. So shout out to Houston though, man. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Corey, I didn't know you watch MMA. Respect. I told you, Jarrell, man. Jarrell put hands on folks, man. So
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
but
Y'all. What up, Dina? Listen to you guys while I work on the Sunday. Hey, salute to Dina, man. Dina, let us know on Friday that she get that big money. She's an oil tycoon. So, much respect for you for tycooning on this Sunday morning. You know what I mean? Jarrell said that, when he fought, he didn't get the cauliflower joint. People get gassed up because they get those and can't fight. Yo, Jarrell, no, listen, that's an actual fact though. Like I know folks that like, what they call it, they roll, you know what I'm saying? That's what some of them do. That's their lingo. I roll, like, and they get excited when they get it. It's almost like a rite of passage. You know what I'm saying? Because again, to my point, when you see somebody with that, you don't know whether they got hands or not, but you also ain't gonna find out. Like,
yeah, I'm personally not trying to find out whether or not they goofy or not. I'm good. Like I see because another set of people who get them joints is military people, and I'm both. I boxing was my first sport, and I'm a military person, so I understand the mentality of those people, and so yeah, I'm gonna stay as far away from fights with those people as possible because
man,
the two things I know about those people, and because I was both of those people, I am similar to them. Is that if we start fighting, my whole purpose is to disable you.
Yeah,
as
so
quickly as possible.
what I understand is if I see you with cauliflower ears, it's a reason I have a license to carry, and that's what I'm gonna leave it at that. Because I'm not, I'm with no words with you, dog. Leave me alone. As an aside, though, I realize I haven't been to the range in years at this point, right? You need to get out to the range, man.
Stop going to the range because they can't afford ammunition, which is the craziest part in the world. Like a lot of people have literally stopped going to the range because they can't afford the ammunition.
Well, for me, it's not even
it's not about that.
No. But I was going to explain to you what it. And I was going to explain to you what it is. There's a lot of things that I've realized recently that, damn, I ain't done this. The pandemic kind of messed up everything. Like it messed up routine. It messed up sense of time. People be asking me how old I am, and I don't even really know the answer because since the pandemic, like the pandemic just ruined like a lot of things, right? So things that you would normally do, you just like didn't do during the pandemic, and you never went back to making it part of your routine. Also just the sense of time, like what year is it and how long? Because also I didn't realize till someone said the other day how long ago that was. That was 20. You're talking about half a decade at this point. Like
6 years ago. It started in 2019.
Yeah, so yeah, but the sense of time is kind of like, warped since the pandemic. And that's one of the things that, I used to, not frequently, but every once in a while, but I haven't done since the pandemic. So I say that to say we need to actually do that. We should, do it as a team, man. But let's get to more of these comments and then we're gonna get into the show. All right, so salute to Dino for the super chat. Definitely appreciate you, Dina.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Shout out to the whole village, man. And listen, man, all these donations and everything really come to play because we are back outside next Saturday. So as a matter of fact, before we get into anything, I do want to say this Saturday, November 1st, we'll be back outside for the, By the Hood camp. It's our Saturday school, right? So as a matter of fact, I'm going to say it with our new name, right? Because we do have a new nonprofit now. So this Saturday, November 1st, Buy the Hood Academy is back at 108 East Price Street for our Saturday school. That's right, our Saturday school. We teach finance. We play finance board games. We feed the youth. We'll be at 108 East Price Street at Faith Chapel Church again this Saturday. Please make sure to go to sign up at bthcamp.com. Go to bthcamp.com and sign up. Come out. It's completely free. Like I said, it's 108 East Price Street. And also, we're going to have a guest speaker this Saturday. And I think it's important because what happened is one of the students from the school said they were interested in HVAC. So we have an owner of an HVAC company who will be one of our main presenters this Saturday to talk about
Also, we'll have somebody who does animation coming in, because I talked to an animator, and so he owns his own animation studio, and he has his own animation classes.
There you go.
He look like us. So,
yeah. So that's the thing. The thing about the Saturday school is we're looking to bring professionals from all walks of life to speak to the youth, to show them the opportunities that exist for them in different spaces, and sometimes non-traditional spaces that, of people that look like us. So this Saturday, November 1st, we'll be at 108 East Price Street. Go to bthcamp.com to get more information. That is bthcamp.com. All right, as an aside, I did it that way because I'm gonna cut this out of the video and post it everywhere else. So that's why I sound like I was doing a commercial. All right, let's get back to this, man, so we can get into some of these topics that we're going to talk about today. Jarrell wants to know: did you watch the boxing joint last night? Joseph Parker v. Wardley that came on last night.
They put hands on each other real for a long time, man. They both look like they was ready to fall out at the end.
Yeah, man. Thunder says back in the 90s we had K1 Grand Prix. ISKA kickboxing in the heavyweight division in boxing was the best, and UFC was brand new. Yeah, the heavyweight division in boxing, man, was. And it's funny because when you read boxing history, like the heavyweight division always has been like, for lack of a better word, popping. Like they've always had like gladiators and
stars.
Yeah, and it's like it just doesn't anymore. They're either doing 100 on the toll road or swag surfing lanes, dunks down. Yeah, there you go. The words in Houston, New Orleans, it be going down after dark on Friday and Saturday, man. Shout out to New Orleans, man. I saw they had the verses last night, and from the clips I saw, Mia X left Earth, so salute to them. Hello, Kamari. Oh, Kamari. Hey, hi, Colin. How are you? My name is Jimmy. That's Corey. Kamari is actually not here today, but we are streaming on all of our platforms that our team streams on. He has to handle some landlord duties this morning, so he's getting to that at one of his commercial properties. But it is what it is, man. Can't wait to go back, is what Thunder says. Thunder says, talking about that cauliflower ear. If they have cauliflower ears, they might not be able to box, but if they grab you, it's most over. You gotta stay standing with them, huh? I thought it was just me. I really be forgetting my age. No, man, after the pandemic, bro, like the pandemic, and again, I can't wait till the documentaries come out about like life after the pandemic, because there's so many things that I just, you just don't think about till you think about and say, damn, that ain't been since the pandemic. And also the fact that we lived through that is going to be wild, right? I was looking at, because every time, this is the thing about Facebook memories can be both triggering, can be both happy.
Man.
But I was looking to some Facebook memories, dog. People during the pandemic was snorting like banana peels and water because they thought they was like, this was my timeline. Like someone sent me they were taking banana peels and putting them in hot water, and it was taking the steam, and it was like, inhaling it.
I mean,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
It does kind of work, but also it do look crazy though, because like
I'm just saying
over the top of the head,
dog. It was all kinds of stuff like that, all kinds of wild stuff during the pandemic. But I get it. People was trying to survive out here, right? Whether that's financially, whether it's from a health standpoint. So people were just doing weird stuff. Then I got all of Congress taking one knee with dashikis on. Like it was just weird times. You got the cops out there with their pistols and main man crump dancing in front of them. Like the whole pandemic, them whole years was just, it's like, yo, we lived through some wild times, yo. Like, and I think that sometimes we forget about that. Hey, Emeka, how are you? That was a time warp. Feels like 45 minutes ago, not 5 years. And that's exactly, what I'm trying to communicate, right? It definitely does not feel like it. It was that's half a decade ago. It does not feel like that. Anyway, some of the things we want to talk about today, right? We're going to talk about like with some of the things going on in the market. So the first thing I want to talk about this is to get your opinion on this, Corey, which is inflation, right? So, and again, I want to be very clear when I give you this. This is the data that they give you when you look up the inflation numbers, right? So for September, it rose 3% year over year and 0.3% on a month-to-month basis. And both of those were slightly below expectations. But both of those were primarily made up. Speaking of the oil and gas, if you look at the data, it says that prices at the pump, the fuel prices, the energy prices, is what's being inflated right now. What do you think about when I tell you that it's only up 3% year over year, Core? How do you feel about that?
Um, I don't know how to say this without saying it, so I'm just gonna say it. I feel like our government is full of shit. Um,
So here's the thing though. That's not a new phenomenon though. The inflation numbers have always
yeah, I mean, I've always felt that way, but I really personally feel this way now because we all know what the prices look like out here and what they used to look like in
mhm.
September of last year, and it's not no damn 3%.
I saw someone put up a post yesterday on Twitter, and this is the thing about Twitter, man. Twitter is excuse. I still call it Twitter. I'm never calling it X. It just is what it is. So y'all gotta forgive me. Twitter be having some wild stuff, man. Because half of Twitter is just straight pun. The other half of Twitter is just straight jokes. And then people be doing these deep dives. But sometimes they do deep dives, and you're like, what brought this thought about? Someone had put up a post about inflation, and they were saying, hear me out, Core. They were talking about the various goods and services that and how inflation has impacted them. And they said if you actually look at all the numbers, the number one thing to be inflated since the early 80s to now are Coke prices. And I was like, but they did like a full dissertation on how the thing that's been inflated the most is not food, it's not gas, it's not bread, it's Coke prices. And they did a whole thing like if you had a connect and you were able to sit on, and keep pure enough of
Cocaine.
then you will be so far ahead based on inflation, right? So, and I say that to say this, right? I do not think anybody should be indulging in that game. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is inflation affects everything and everyone, whether we know it or not, right? From those of us that go to work and do what we got to do to those of us that operate in the underworld. And that doesn't matter whether you're selling $40 dates or you're selling narcotics, no matter what it is, inflation affects everybody because it is a silent tax. So when you look at the inflation numbers and they say that it's below expectations, but how realistic is that? Right? Because those of us that buy goods and services know the difference in price now versus then, dog. Living in
Yeah,
Philadelphia,
I could tell you it ain't no damn 3% year over year.
dog. Living in Philadelphia, a cheesesteak is like $15, $20 now.
Yeah, we used to get a cheesesteak, a soda, and some French fries for $5, right?
Straight like that. Straight like that.
And now you
Whole
can't
platter,
even
cheesesteak platter, come with a drink
come with a drink. And that right now, you're not getting a cheesesteak by itself for less than a dime.
at all, anywhere. And by the way, the cheesesteak based upon social media, it's seeing a resurgence too though, because there's a lot of people putting out some quality steaks in Philly, like and not the ones y'all go to when y'all come from out of town. But I say all that to say, inflation affects everybody, man. So I don't believe those numbers. Other things that came out too was the I'm looking at this now, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, as well as Dow Jones closed at new records, right? So the market is still fairly up. Now there's having this ebbs and flows, so people will say, "Man, when I was down," but overall, we're talking about overall. So inflation looks one way, but there's still some cheap money out there, man. So I think the overall takeaway from this part that I want to talk about, which is inflation and where the market is, and I've seen people say, on Friday, not Friday, it wasn't Friday, it was somewhere we did a stream somewhere. Someone was talking about timing the market, and I'm like, matter of fact, it was that class we did yesterday. Someone was talking about timing the market. Nah, you
Don't
just
do it.
gotta dollar cost average, right? Because dollar cost average, right? Get like my guy Don, find you some ETFs and just buy them as often as you can, and just like play the long game, right? Because inflation is going to do what it does. Like I don't see inflation slowing down anytime soon, personally, right? We're going to hit hyperinflation one day. Um, but if you stay invested, and sadly to say, those of us that invest, when inflation happens, we actually make money. So that's my takeaway from that, man. Any thoughts about a million more thoughts about inflation before I move on?
Um, yeah, two. One thought is that it's manufactured inflation, right? Part of it is when you take certain things out of circulation, the prices of certain things are just going to go up,
Hmm.
right? So some of that inflation is because some things are leaving, and then now that leaves other things in a stronger position, and then as soon as those things get in a stronger position, they're going to just charge more. Just the supply and demand of it.
Mhm.
And two, that you got to be careful out here. Like, it used to be that you can get the numbers, you could get the numbers from the government, and you could trust them. You could get some numbers from the
I'm about to say
government.
I don't know if that's ever been the case, but I digress.
No, what I'm saying, like, you can get, there's some numbers you could get from the government, and you could say, all right, that's roundabout. You know what I mean? What it is. I don't think you could do that anymore. I don't trust anything. I don't trust
Hey,
anything.
I don't think you're wrong in
Like,
feeling that way.
I don't. It's not that the numbers I trusted, that I trusted them before, because you know we always have a saying, we got to verify before we trust, right?
Yes. Hmm.
But some of those numbers that the government used to give us were easily verifiable. I don't think you
Yeah.
can even do that now, man, because all of the guardrails are gone. So I don't know, you know what I mean? Because if the government give me one number, and then I can go on four other different spaces and then check, all right, let me see what they say here. Let me see what they say here. You know what I mean? Like, I can check behind them. Like,
I was reading an article the other day. It was talking about how since the government shutdown, which I probably should say this till I get to that point of it. But anyway, and they were talking about how some of the data that was being collected wasn't being collected because of the government shutdown. So the government has, like, kind of skeleton crews putting together some of the stuff, and the big banks like J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs was like, nah, we got our own. We don't even need that. Y'all keep that.
yeah,
So they don't even care what the government's putting out. They're doing their own thing, right? They and these are the big boys.
because
So
because they don't trust me. When somebody is tied into the government, as J.P. Morgan is telling you, that's a signal.
yeah. So a couple more
JP
comments.
government, there's nobody more tied to the government than JP Morgan.
Couple things I want to say. So Jarrell says y'all really got strong networks, man. Those kids lucky. Hey, man, listen, appreciate those kind words, Jarrell. Appreciate that, beloved. Emeka says time warp 45 minutes. Yeah, we talked about that. Thunder says, speaking of forgetting your age, ever since the pandemic, a lot of people say they feel like they're in a mental fog. I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Right. And it's the thing, though. I think sometimes we just take for granted, like, we actually live through that. You read about things in history and you say, man, that must be crazy. But we lived through some wild history, in our lifetimes. Um, it's our brother Don right here. Cheeks on sale since them stamps off, yo. Don is wild, man. And for those I got something to say about that too, man. Cause I was on my timeline, man, and I know Corey, you're gonna feel me on this one, pause. But some of y'all is just evil, man. Like, y'all be making jokes, not like that. I get that Don saying it in jest, but some of y'all was like, coming at people who are struggling because they're not going to get, get their stamps. They're like, yeah, now you see it. It's like being real nasty to them. It's like, what's the point of that, right? Because everybody who gets assistance from the government, right, isn't someone that's taking advantage of the system. There are people out there that actually are the working poor. We have a huge percentage of working poor, people that actually get up, go to work hard, manual labor jobs, and still rely on some sort of government assistance to kind of, like, meet the gap that they have in terms of feeding their family or paying for a place to live. And y'all are just straight evil. Some of y'all, not everybody, but I see that, and I'm reading this stuff like, man, y'all really hate each other. And Corey had put up a post yesterday that I read and was like, man, some of y'all really do just hate each other. Like, we talk about the idea of love being at the forefront, but some of y'all got to work through the hate first. Y'all don't even like each other. Y'all hate each other, and y'all can't wait to see someone fall on their face, right? Y'all are more about hating on someone than loving who you love, right? And I say this all the time. I can tell you, most people, I can tell you what they don't like, but I can't tell you what they do like because they spend so much time dwelling on the things they don't like and not talking about the things that they do like.
I
And
can
some of
tell
y'all
you,
just evil, man. Some of y'all evil.
there's one thing that I love. That is black people. You don't gotta ask around. Like, you don't gotta ask around. You don't gotta do a whole bunch of, like. If you can't tell what I like and I don't like, I can tell you 100% what I like. I love black people, and I love everything about being black.
There we
Everything
go.
else, everything else come from that. So
Yeah, so I just think that some of y'all, man, need to really get yourself together because it's like y'all are having a field day and happy about people not getting their benefits. That's crazy to me.
yeah, man, people out of control with that dumbass shit. Like I really be trying not to get involved in those conversations because people are dead set on being who they are, right? Like
Hmm.
they- they're the psychology again, because I work with the psychology of people. Um, if for those of y'all who don't know, um, the vast majority of my training is in behavioral, um, changing the way people behave, right? So behavioral tactics and how to make people actually change behavior over time, right? So I'll be watching the way people behave, and like I'll be feeling like there's two things that I need to do. I need to either shut up and not talk to those people because what I'm going to say is going to hurt their feelings, or I need to pull them to the side and use my craft on them and show them how to change that hate that they have over time, because a lot of it can be changed. Because a lot of people, most people aren't arrogant. Most people are ignorant, right?
Okay.
So and so with and I'll explain, right? Arrogance, you only can get arrogance out of something through humiliation, right?
Hmm.
The only thing arrogance understands is humiliation, right? You gotta just like totally crush arrogance. But ignorance, you can teach through, right? You can teach through ignorance. I can sway you. I can move your mind. I can move your thoughts and your actions, right? Most people are ignorant, right? Most people, if you show them something enough times or you give them something different, they'll change over time, right? Because most people are ignorant and not arrogant. Then you have arrogant people.
So
People who
here's my thing, right? I actually agree with your breakdown. I think where we disagree is I think most people are arrogant, right? Because I think that a lot of these in 2025, right? I think the internet has made a lot of people arrogant because the internet has made a lot of people feel like they know more than they actually do, and they feel like they can speak on everything. People on my timeline, dog, be going from like anthropologists to sociologists to criminologists within the matter of minutes, and it's like you can't speak on everything. And I think a lot of people are arrogant. And I think a lot of people practice what I like to call the Slim Charles theory, right? And once they
they
come
gonna
up with
die on the lie.
yeah, if it's a lie, they're gonna fight on that lie, right?
they gonna
Whatever
fight
feeling
on
they
that
got,
lie.
yeah. So there's no teaching them because however they feel is what they feel, and they moving on feelings. They're moving on emotion. They're not moving on data and logic. They're moving on emotion. So I think that's the only place that we dis. And this is just something that again, my live life experience. A lot of y'all folks out here are very arrogant, and they've become more arrogant with the internet. And now y'all got AI in your pocket. Y'all really think y'all smarter, right? And there's actually a study within artificial intelligence that talks about like I forgot that it's a term for it, where people think they're smarter than they are because they have access to these AI tools. And it's like it's not you, but you feel like because you have this thing in your pocket, you're smart, and that could become problematic. So a lot of these people, man, are just they are arrogant. Now, listen, you feel like you could teach, you got to teach, but I feel like I'm going,
Well,
spit
I
my
can
bar.
I can I can spot it right away because like, again, I have 20 years experience spotting it,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
it's not really hard for me to spot it, right? Because it's really a simple test, right? If I give them information, do they even go check it out, right? So if I give you something, if I give you some information, right, and you don't even trust the information I give you, if you go look it up yourself, then I know that you're ignorant and not arrogant, right? Because now
Yeah,
you're seeking,
yeah.
right? If I give you something and you don't even pay it no mind, I know you have a level of arrogance that I can't teach through, and I won't even try.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point because some people won't even like really take the time to do that. Real quick, I get some of these comments because Thunder wants to know that means the nickel bag is not 643, or does the distributor hit you with shrinkflation, right?
Prior to shrinkflation, they probably still
I,
charge you the five and cut back the product.
yeah, yeah. So for those who don't know what shrinkflation is, right? The same good or service that you were paying for, you still pay the same price, but you get less of it. I saw this whole thing. Have you ever heard of the Chipotle tax? It's a
I
thing, right?
heard of it, but I don't know what it
All
is.
right, if you go to Chipotle and you go to Chipotle and you order your food, right? your burrito will be crazy, pause, like crazy large, right? If you order it and get it delivered, it's gonna be half the size.
Damn.
So there's a bunch of people who who do this test and they post it. You know, again, it's just the problem of being on the internet. Across the board, 100% of the time, you get less when you order delivery versus when you go there, and they call it the Chipotle tax. And some people are like, well, that's what you get because Chipotle is meant to be, you know, you got in person, blah blah blah. And others like, nah, they're cheating this. They because you get charged more when you order. Dog, you ever order DoorDash and look at the crazy fees, dog?
Oh yeah,
Dog,
I get. I ordered.
dog.
I ordered DoorDash yesterday. I got some rice and gravy, and I got some plantains, and the
Cost
total
like $40.
the total order was $13. But when I went to go pay, that joint was like $23.50. I was like, God damn! So you charged me like 80%.
Double up.
You charged me like 80% of what my order costs in fees. I
Yeah.
was like, damn, I got $13 worth of stuff, and I paid
So
$23.
so thank you for the comment, Thunder, because shrinkflation is a real thing, but also like just you talk about extra taxation outside of inflation, right? You just get taxed all kinds of crazy ways, right? Because we live in an economy now where the gig economy is real. So people are ordering DoorDash, people are ordering Instacart. It's a whole industry. But if you look at those fees, man, it's wild. So imagine ordering Chipotle where you're paying all those extra fees and you're only getting a fraction of what you're getting.
You're getting half of the food.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild out here, man. It's wild out here. It's wild out here. So Emeka says Powell in the last 2-year Fed meetings inferred they are still trying to bleed that stimulus money out of the economy, which they printed. If consumers keep spending it, it'll keep rising. So that's the thing about it, Emeka. That's another great point. Thank you for that point, because a lot of times when that happened, I understand why they did it, but we all should have known at that moment that has to, like, you know, in the words
It
of our
has
brother
to cause
Malcolm,
inflation because
the chickens at the
now your
corner
money's
is no way
worth
around
it.
it. Yes, that we're gonna have to pay for that one way and the other, right? So excellent point there. Um, CSG, because I'm not even going to try to read that, with operations in Serbia, acquired many U.S. ammo brands. Serbia company is a large supplier of ammo in the U.S. market. The cost of reloading supplies up too. That's interesting because it reminds me of the old Chris Rock joke. You ever heard a Chris Rock joke? When he talked when he talks about how to stop the gun violence in America,
Yeah,
and he
just raise
says,
the price of ammo.
"No, that was that Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock? What was one of them? What was either Chappelle or Chris Rock? I think it was Chris Rock though.
Yeah, I think it was Chris
No,
Rock.
no, or what? Nah, I was one of them, and they were talking about like, yeah, they gonna put their ammo on layaway, and then by the time they finish paying for it, they ain't gonna be mad no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they remind. What's up? Hey, the finance rebel over there handling landlord duties. He's still in the comments. What's up, beloved? You know, no, we didn't slander you yet, but now you're here. We can slander you. Let's see. Appreciate the super chat, OCL.
Appreciate
Appreciate
that.
that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. The way the government revises numbers, nothing. See, here he goes speaking that another language again. The way the government revises numbers, nothing can be trusted. But they never talk about corporate welfare. No one ever talks about corporate welfare. Most of the welfare is the corporations. No one ever brings that up, right? So this is why I get angry with. You're not angry because I don't get angry. I ain't gonna lie. I don't get angry. I just look at people differently when I see how they hate other people. They hate themselves as well. Jarrell, that's an excellent point. The hate that they're displaying is really about themselves. That's what it really is. Thunder Don Johnson, you know who's sitting back chilling during these recession depression? His name only has 4 letters. All right, I was trying to put it together. He said, who's sitting back chilling during this recession/depression? His name has 4 letters. Nate. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but you know, anyway, human social connectivity element is crucial. A lot of people gonna wish they had companionship in the smart cities when they can't go out and mingle, and the armed bots keeping them in the pod. Psh, man, listen,
that's definitely coming down to
yeah. Another Mecca's on fire right now in the chat. Yeah, Lance, the people do practice the Slim Charles theory. That's what I call it, my Slim Charles theory, man. If it's a lie, we're gonna fight on that lie. Verify the info. It was Chris Rock. All right, y'all. I appreciate that. I know it was Chris. Oh no, yeah, it was Chris Rock. It was Chris Works. That was Chris Works. Yeah. But yeah, that's what that reminds me of, the Chris Rock. But let's go past this though, man. Let's talk about tech and AI, man, because there's an AI rally that keeps going on. AMD cut a deal with OpenAI and they were booming for a second. But some people are still saying that this is a bubble, right? There's strong gains, but there's a lot of caution to be taken out there, right? So one of the things we want to talk about is when you see innovation, embrace it, but don't gamble your wealth. Because what I see a lot of people doing is no matter what the next wave is, right? Whether that's blockchain or whether that's AI, whatever it is, they go all in. And when they go all in, right? So there's nothing wrong with, dipping your toe in the water, for lack of a better term. But be careful out here, y'all. Be careful out here because a lot of these valuations um are
Trash.
are based on poppycock. So
Basura.
just be careful is what I want to say. Be careful, man. But as of right now, business is booming, as Antonio Brown used to say. So, but be
Yo, I
careful
tell
out
you
there.
this. If you look at any of these companies, every single one of them, all the AI, all the quantum computing companies, all of them, the only ones making money are the ones that have been in the market for a minute. So you're talking about Nvidia, AMD, the ones that have already been in the market. All these new companies,
Hmm.
none of them are making money. Not
There was
and
a
not only are none of them making money, but the amount of money they would have to make money with the way their business model is set up right now is almost impossible for any of them to actually be financially at zero. Forget making money.
so here's what I want y'all to do. An MIT study came out, and I've read through this entire study. So I'm actually doing a talk in Alabama next year. And actually, it's funny because myself and there's like two other data scientists, we got to actually do we're doing the keynote in this conference. We're doing the keynote. But part of it, and the reason they asked to do the keynote is because it's relevant to what's going on. And the title of our presentation is called AI is BS, right? And a lot of what I'm talking about came from a study that was just released is by MIT. And I want y'all to look it up and y'all get a chance, right? It came out in August, and MIT released a study that says 95% of every AI project to date has failed to generate a return on investment. 95%. And again, this is not my word. This is an MIT study. 95%. And just look it up. Look. Here's what I want you to Google. Google MIT research AI projects fail to make money, and you'll see the actual study that was done. So to your point, those that have already been in the market do have some money that they've made, but a lot of these projects are just like, people are putting AI on everything and they're raising capital and they're not even, they're just
Ain't even
going through the
trying to make the
motions.
money back. It's the same. It's the same as the crypto schemes, man. Like these companies, they run they out and then they put the .io on them, and like it's the same move.
Yo,
It's
it's
the
funny
same
because
move.
I remember when people started using like dot TV, and dot TV I think was for Tel Aviv, right? But people started using it as a way to like show their video companies or whatever with the dot TV. Then we got the dot IO, but dot AI is so booming right now that there's a country, I forgot which country it is. Someone could look it up for me. But dot AI has now become their second biggest revenue generator in their entire country because so many people are using the dot AI thing that so again that's another signal for you. But just the whole point of this topic this week is
And,
because
and and I don't have any problem with people bringing their stuff to the market and having people buy their stuff out of the market, but you gotta know that 99% of these companies are going to be out of business.
this is the thing
Right?
about like
We
a lot of
used to
times.
do we used to do every Friday. We used to do part of our show was to show all of the cryptos that used to be part of the cryptos universe that went out of business and no longer exists. And there was thousands of cryptos, and almost every single one of them Johns went out of business.
This is why I find it funny that the idea of a rug pull got put in the crypto space because rug pulls have been happening since I was born. Like I know since I've studied the market.
From
I
the
remember
rip.
excuse me, I remember the dot com era. There were a lot of rug pulls, right? There were a lot of rug pulls, right? And Enron was a rug pull, right? So you have people who are creating organizations, entities, and they're taking advantage of the space by raising capital. They're going to cash out, and somebody's going to get left holding the bag. It's going to be a rug pull. So rug pulls have been going around in the stock market. I mean, listen, if you study the history,
Listen, the
the,
Kennedys,
I was going
the
to say that if you study the
Kennedys,
history, they were doing rug pulls back then. So anyway, I bring on
he
that
the one
to
who
say
started
this.
the rug pulls. That's how he got to be part. He started them.
Again, do the knowledge, y'all. Do the knowledge. But here's what I'll say though: the whole point of this is for our village, for our people. Just be careful out there, going like putting 100% of your assets into AI because I've seen people do it because they're just trying to ride the wave. And it's all
and
good when it's all good one way, but when that bottom falls out, you know.
man,
Anyway,
listen, yeah, man.
Don says AI will become monopoly with the big dogs eating everyone up. That's like every space, right? So even when we talk about, that's the thing about the .com boom is that there are companies that came from the .com boom that still exist, right? So I mean, Amazon was part of that, right? So
Yo,
that's how it is.
so,
But the
so
thing is, you
with all of
how
this
do you
being said,
guarantee that you have the company that will be the big dog? And that's the problem.
so I need y'all to do this. I want y'all to go. I think this online. I know it's online, but I don't know exactly where you find it. But there's a speech that Peter Thiel just did um, at Stanford recently, where he talks about that capitalism is ass and monopolies is where it's at.
Yeah,
And
I
this
saw
is a
that. I saw
dude.
that on Twitter.
Yeah, so I need y'all to watch that shit, bro. Because if you think, oh man, listen,
Peep this though, right? So a couple of things I want to say here. Nvidia is planning to back guarantee open AI loans. Those circular financing claims may have some validity. Yeah, and people thought that was a conspiracy theory and how intertwined all that is, right? But here's the other part. Like you said, Peter Thiel. I was laughing because Candace Owens, Kamari's favorite black woman, she went viral
that
like
is
last
that
week.
is pure satire. Because Kamari does not love that woman at all, way, shape, form, or fashion. That is not pure satire.
Kamari's woman crush Wednesday, Candace Owens, right? All right,
Kamari does
so
not love this woman at
he
all.
probably cussing me out right now, but it's all good though. It's all love, bro. But she she had put up a video last week, right, where she said that Sam Altman, Elon Musk, and Peter Thiel aren't human, and she was like, "Look at their eyes; they're reptilian."
I,
See,
I, I
she
don't
went.
disagree with her on that one.
She hold up. She was like, "Hold up." Slandering black folks ain't doing it. I gotta go further now. I gotta get these computers puting. So now she's calling out, certain folks and saying they're not even human. Like they're part of a different species, and that's why they're doing what they're doing on our planet. So yeah, so
But no,
y'all look that up too.
that's why the book that I was just talking to you about, the political ponterology, um, that's an important book because I mean you're going to need some background in psychology. You're going to need to have taken a few psychology courses to be able to get
Hmm.
through it in a way that's going to help you. If you've taken any kind of psychology courses, you should be able to get through it pretty easily. Like,
Shout out
because
to my psychology professor, man, Jerry Malfera at Chestnut Hill College, man. I had him like 3 psychology classes, man. That was my guy, Jerry Malfera. So I just want to shout him out because I never shot him out. But anyway. But here's my question to you: does the book talk about the reptilian conspiracy though? Is that is that a
there's no
part of it?
conspiracy theories in there, but
Okay.
but the thing about it is the mentality that Candace Owens is talking about is spoken clearly in there. So
Have y'all, by the way, for those in the chat, have y'all ever heard about that reptilian conspiracy that there's like reptile species that are really running our government and big business? Like that's a real thing. But according to Kamari's Woman Crush Wednesday, like that's who's part of it. But anyway, Thunder wants to know with his comment. My whole view, what do you think of GE Verona, GE Healthcare, GE Aerospace? So I think that GE at some point, GE was one of the most dominant companies in the market when I was a youngster, right? Under Jack Welch, they dominated. They were the Google, the Nvidia of that time. And I always thought they were doing too much, right? Because when I think about General Electric and read the history, General Electric stood for one thing. Why is GE giving out auto loans and bank loans, and
yeah,
now you in
they
air
went
like
way too far.
they was doing too much. So the fact that they're splitting them off, to me, it makes sense, right? It makes sense because all of those under one roof to me is one problematic, and two, like you need to me concentration is everything, right? You can't just be all over the place.
So
So
yeah, they're an energy company. They have always been an energy company. And then when they start breaking off into other things, that's really when they start getting into trouble.
here's the thing, though. Think about how much paper you got to be bringing in when you like, yo, I gotta do something else. Like I got so much bread, I gotta go put it somewhere else. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Sorry, Don Johnson. This should be a T-shirt. Buy the S&P 500 and go build your skill stack. I like the way you phrase that. Go build your skill stack. Just buy the S&P, go get some more skills, and get more money to do the same. Rinse and repeat. Do you see a use case for Ethereum as the
All right, we
underlying
can
basis for
stop
a
this
broad?
question right here. No, there's no
For
use case. No.
for me, no. Answer Corey's. I was trying to read your question, and like so, but for
No,
me,
we can
no.
stop it. All the other stuff is irrelevant. There's no use case for it because it's not proof of work anymore. It is proof of stake, and anything proof of stake is not absolutely not.
Ethereum is not decentralized. I'll just leave it at that. 70% of Ethereum was already pre-mined. And again, don't take my word for it. Go look at it. Go do the knowledge. There's a whole book on that. I forgot the name of the book. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the village. But there's a book on how Ethereum, the history of Ethereum, basically, and them moving from proof of work to proof of stake, and how when Ethereum was created, 70% of it was kept by the people that created Ethereum, which is
And,
problematic to
and
begin with.
so the reason why Ethereum worked as well as it did early is because it was proof of work. And then once they changed it. The thing is, the owners, because Ethereum has owners, were able to change it from proof of work to proof of stake. They effed up the whole thing.
I got a different theory. I got a theory that the only reason that Ethereum, Litecoin, or anything worked is because they're all infinity scams, right? Because Bitcoin was what it was, and when you logged on to Coinbase back in the day, right? And Coinbase at the time only had three things when they, first started: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, right? And what tended to
Yeah.
happen is Bitcoin's price was so much more that so much capital flew into the other ones because it's like, yo, if I can get Litecoin at $3, why not get Litecoin, right? Maybe, and the lie you hear people tell are, one day this is going to be just as valuable as Bitcoin, right? I'm just still waiting for that, but it is what it is, man. So Jarrell, it's funny you say that because when a video was posted, that's what the take that a lot of people had. They was like, oh, she's going full Alex Jones now. Yeah, she's going full Alex Jones. Call her Gabriel Confederacy. Gabriel Confederacy. That is hilarious. Look. Kamari and the John, stop lying on me. Just messing with you, bro. Just messing with you, man. So yeah, I heard of it. I heard of it. They say that Three Eye Atlas has reptilians. Listen, man. They said it's the reptilian people out here, man. Listen. Jamil be on these YouTubian streets, so I know Jamil has heard about the reptilian conspiracy, man. So there's a few Charlie Munger YouTube channels out there I've been listening to. Gems galore. I listen. People get mad when I say this too. I don't want nobody slander me. I think Charlie Munger was not only smarter, but was more important to investing than even Warren Buffett. I do believe that because he was straight to the point. And again, this is a guy that he's a Bitcoin slanderer, but I understand why. But to me, he dropped more knowledge than Buffett throughout the years, and that's no slander to Buffett because again, everyone learns from Buffett, right? I learn from all the big name investors, all of them. I study all of them, right? It's like money master the game. I want to hear what everybody does and then create my own opinion based upon it, the data they give. But to me, Charlie Munger was the more impressive of the two. So it's interesting that you say that, Don. I know people get mad when I say that. They be like, because people they worship at the throne of Buffett. I don't worship none of these dudes. I want to know the information you got. Do I care about you personally? No. But anyway, a couple more things I'm gonna get through so we can get out of here, man. The government shutdown and data gaps. We talked about the government shutdown and the lack of access to data. So it's kind of wild out there when it comes to the data. So here's the problem with that. When data is missing, the risk grows, right? Credit decisions, business plannings, all things get impacted. And I don't think that people recognize how many things can be impacted by the government shutdown. So one of the things I want to talk about, and we talked about this yesterday, is to always have liquidity. Always have liquidity. And I know for people like, well, you always talk about Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is my liquidity, right? Bitcoin is a 24/7, 365 market. So Bitcoin is my liquidity. If I need to get an exit ramp to then get some capital, I would. But Bitcoin is matured to the point now where I got so many products that I'm testing out in terms of borrowing against your Bitcoin, whether it's physical, whether it's the ETF that I'm testing out before I bring to you guys, that it's amazing. I'll never have to sell a Bitcoin again. I just won't. I'll never have to sell it again. So, but having liquidity is important, and the lack of data is going to be problematic as we move forward. I don't know how long this government shutdown will last. I'm hoping people get back to work. I know that this has become a political football. Sad to see this because people's lives are actually being affected. So, it's pretty sad, but just be careful, y'all, and have some liquidity. Last thing I want to talk about is this, right? Trade, global relations, and their ripple effects, right? And by the way, I see my allergies is going crazy this morning, man. And this, first of all, the weather just dropped crazy. It's like 40, 50 outside. Like, it's nuts out here in Philadelphia, dog. We got 4 seasons here. I know some of y'all, are in the West Coast and y'all out there in beautiful weather and all that. And, some of y'all in Houston. What's the weather in Houston like right now, Core? For my folks in Houston, what's the weather like, y'all?
80 something.
All right, y'all can go to
It's
hell.
like 80
something
degrees. I talked to my wife yesterday.
Man. Oh, how y'all got 80-degree weather right now, man? What's going on? What's really good? Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. Side note. But so there's a new report that dropped that says that easing trade tensions and inflation relief help the markets, but there's still a lot of global risk out there. So a lot of our businesses in 2025, import, export, hire globally. So what happens overseas has a direct impact of what happens here. And I think that's important to talk about always, because sometimes we don't see how things are connected. And we do truly live in a global economy. And we don't see how small things impact big things. But if you're going to be someone that's an investor and in the markets, you have to pay attention to politics. You cannot separate the two, because politics will affect your paper. I've seen people who are the best, I mean, the best at charting and technical analysis. And that's no match for when someone gets on TV and says something wild. You can have done the greatest job known to man in terms of looking at a chart, and your president will get on TV and say something crazy, and all your work is out the window, right? So if you're really going to be an analyst and be in this space, you have to be willing to do some study in terms of what's happening politically and how it affects the overall economy. Macroeconomics is a field of study for a reason. I just want to put that out there. So OCL said it's soggy over there today, man. Guess y'all get that rain out there, huh? I know y'all get that rain. I know when Corey is out there going through that rain, dog. It looked crazy out there. I thought, it looked nuts. Add that bottleneck to this time of year when people shut down for the holidays. Yeah, man, people shut down. Y'all know about them office gigs. You go to the office between like Thanksgiving and Christmas, dog. Ain't no work getting done. Yo, side question: how important is getting a bit key? I didn't know you don't really own your stuff on these investment apps, or at least that's what I've been seeing. So, excellent question, right? And we talk about this often when it comes to I specifically mean Bitcoin space, but crypto in general. Anytime you buy something on an exchange, the exchange is holding it for you. Now, if for those who don't know how problematic that can be, just do a Google, quickly look up Mount Gox, MTGOX. Look up Mount Gox and see what happened in Mount Gox. If you don't hold the keys to your crypto, you truly do not own it. Now, there's some sites or some exchanges such as River, shout out to River, those are my folks, who have doing something like called proof of reserves, where they actually show you that they have what they say they have. But in the past, you have a credit claim to own those things, not necessarily ownership yourself. So the phrase is not your keys, not your crypto, or as my brother Isaiah says, not your keys, not your cheese, right? So getting a hardware wallet is the only true way to own your crypto, or hot wallet too, but that puts it at a little bit of a risk because it's a hot wallet. But you should take control of it. Now, should everybody do that? Honestly, no. Most Bitcoiners will tell you always got to have control. My thing is, dog, if you got like $254, like, it's no sense in you spending money on a hardware wallet. You've probably seen the money you spend on a hardware wallet and buy more Bitcoin. But once you start to get to the point where you got 1,000, 2,000 or whatever, you really should start to think about taking it into your own custody. By the way, anything I say here is not investment advice. It's for educational and informational purposes only. I am no one's fiduciary. But what I will say is that cold storage, that hardware wallet is important once you start to get to the 4-figure range, in my opinion, because now you want to make sure that you protect your asset. And the only way to truly protect it is for you to control the keys. Now, that means you also are becoming your own bank. But part of becoming your own bank is the responsibility of security for said bank. So now you want to take your security serious. And there's a whole way to do that as well, in terms of where you store your keys, in terms of 2-factor authentication, in terms of a lot of things, right? Multi-sig, there's a lot of different ways you want to protect your assets. But it's a great question. To me, the BitKey is the best hardware wallet for someone starting out in that space. Once you learn the BitKey and how that works, then you can, go to the cold card or things such as that, even things beyond that, the foundation passport. There's other wallets that you can use. But the BitKey to me is the best one to start, because now you get the idea of not having it on an exchange, which is the primary reason you want to do this, is to get it off of an exchange. I don't care if it's Coinbase. I don't care if it's Gemini. I don't care where it is. Get it off of the exchange and get it into your own security, because also there's lessons to be learned about being responsible for your security of your Bitcoin. I'm not going to say crypto, your Bitcoin. But thanks for the question, though, Jarrell. All right, so a couple more comments. What's your thoughts on the food stamp shutdown? How do you think it will affect the holidays, economy, between folks having to choose between Turkey Day, Black Friday, Christmas meals, and Christmas gifts? So I think it will have an effect. Um, thing I know about like growing up in the hood is we gonna find a way to make everything happen, man. You know, we find a way to make things happen, and I think that's it's funny because we live in a society now where they try to erase our history, right? They try to erase what happened because they want people to believe that life has always been peaches and cream for our people here in this continent. And I think that there's beauty in the honest history, the true history, because the beauty in it to me is that we're still here and we're still thriving, we're still surviving, right? I think that's where the beauty is. They're looking at it the wrong way. The beauty is that we've taken on all kinds of abuse. We fought all kinds of fronts. We still fight all kinds of wars, whether that's politically, economically, like from an education standpoint, and we still thrive. So we find ways to make things happen. So is it going to affect us? Yes, because people are not going to have those resources. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the problem I have is people that are making fun of or making plight of the fact that people won't have. To me, that's kind of foul. I was thinking the opposite. For those that don't have, what is something that we can do to kind of help those that don't have? So this is where my mind goes to, how can I help, not make fun of? So I think that it will be a problem, but I mean, it might be up to people like us that are actually on the front lines to, like, help people with some gifts or help people with some food. That's where my mind goes
Yeah,
to. How do we as a
we might have to take up a collection and help some families get some stuff that they don't have and things that they may not be able to get, because
man,
if
listen,
people
man.
can't eat, man, that's not, our sister Tracy, she wouldn't allow this. She just
Not at
would.
all. Not at all. So for me, the way I see things, and thank you for the question too, Jamil. Thank you for that question. But to me, we always find a way to get things done, man. We find a way to get things done, man. Listen, if you got any black women in your family, you know what I'm talking about. Black women make things work, dog. They gonna find a way to make Thanksgiving happen. They gonna find a way to make Christmas happen, right? They going this is where we come from. This is what we do. But for me, it's how do we as a collective make sure that our folks are still taken care of. So I'm thinking about locally. What is it that I can do? What can By the Hood Academy? What can we do as a collective to help these people, man? Because I got really frustrated yesterday. Not frustrated again. I'm not getting mad or frustrated. It just opened my eyes up that some of y'all really hate each other. When I saw a lot of posts about, nah, y'all ain't gonna have no food. What y'all gonna do now? Y'all can't take money from the government to do it. It's like that's where your brain goes to, right? Because again, one of the things I know about being in the streets is there's a lot of working poor. There are people that work for a living, work hard jobs, do jobs that I don't want to do, and they actually go to work every day and they still need that little bit to keep, to pay for their rent, to pay for their food. So how do we help those people? You know what I'm saying? How do we help those people? But great question, Jamil. I thank you for asking that question. Ants in the building, you know, just left the virtual Lord's house. Hey, man, I hope you got a word today, man. I hope you got a good word today, good brother. It's like owning the stock. It's like owning stock. The brokerage company owns it and they have your name on the books. Back in the day, some old folks would ask for stock certificates and keep it at home in a safe or safety deposit box. Listen, back in the day, everybody used to give them joints. Can you still do that in 2025? I don't even know if you can still ask for that.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even know if you can ask for that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, Jarrell says, thanks for the educational info. I'm in the 4-figure bracket. I got a few pockets of Bitcoins, mainly Cash App. So I'll be taking care of that. No doubt, no doubt. Listen, man, anything we can do to help, we always here for that, man. And if you need help moving things, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Jarrell got my number, dog. You can reach out to me directly. Like, I want to make sure we're all taken care of, and as we all go through this journey, that it's not an informational gap, right? There's a lot of gaps that we're fighting, but the informational gap is one that we need to work with each other to make sure that gap no longer exists. You dig? With that being said, though, man, listen, man, the last thing I want to say is this, and I said it before, and I want to say it again. Next Saturday, this Saturday coming up, November 1st, we are at 108 East Price Street, the Germantown section of Philadelphia. It is completely free. Kids ages 5 and up, right? It's the By the Hood Academy Saturday school. By the Hood, you see By the Hood Academy, that's our new nonprofit. I want to make sure, keep plugging it. By the Hood Academy Saturday school, November 1st, 108 East Price Street, Faith Chapel Church. It's our next Saturday school. We got some dope games. I'm gonna be sharing some of the new games and stuff I got during the course of the week on my timeline. So make sure y'all check that out. Got some new games. We have an HVAC person coming. We have an animator coming to speak to the kids. So we have professionals. Like we had a arborist come out the first week, talk about that whole business. So again, this is what we're doing. We are making sure that we're on the front lines, man. So it's completely free. We're going to feed them. By the way, man, shout out to Giovanni's because them buffalo wings that we had last week was or
Sheesh.
last month was so fire. Like it was
Sheesh.
like the Corey don't even mess with buffalo wings. And he was like,
I
hold
don't
up.
know. I don't mess with honey on buffalo wings because I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like sweet chicken pulse. But
No sweet with your meatballs.
yeah, no sweet with my meat. Oh God, them chicken wings was fire.
Yeah, they
Even
had
with
the honey
them,
barbecue sauce was amazing.
yeah.
So shout out to Giovanni because we're gonna go back there just for them. I was telling Monica yesterday, I was like, I can't wait for Saturday. She's like, the school? I was like, the buffalo wings. What do you so shout out.
Oh,
Yeah, Giovanni's is in Philly. It's on Green Street, man. I've been going to Giovanni since I was a youngster, man. I used to go to Germantown Friends summer basketball camp. You know what I mean? And it was a cat that went there with me, and I ain't seen boy since then. The boy named Steven. And we used to go there so much that they used to joke. And one time, and shout out to the owners, right? Because this is how you know they was for the community, right? I don't even know who they are or where they're from, but used to be a dude named Steve that went there with me, right? So we would come from Germantown Friends basketball camp, and we would walk down to Giovanni's every day for lunch. And the boy Steve, for the entire like 2 summers, will order the same thing, like this small fry and these 2 slices with ground beef. Like he ordered the same thing every day. So one of the days, the owner, he had put it. He used to call it his Stephen in Heaven meal. He'd like, give me the Stephen in Heaven meal, right? As a joke. So one day we went there and the owner took the time to put it on the menu and it like made his day, right? You know, it was something small, something, but I thought it was super dope because like we little kids, it didn't made his day. This was before social media, so we didn't have like the joint. But he was he went back to camp telling everybody I got my own meal at Giovanni's. Like, so I thought that was super dope. You know what I mean for them to do. Anyway, so shout out to Giovanni's, man. Y'all been a part of the community and looking out for folks for a while. But them, yeah. So those wings though, Core, it is what
yeah,
it is, man. It is what it is. Oh man, we got people slandering sweet meat too. Like pause. Like sweet meat is
I
crazy.
said pause, man, but I don't mess with sweet meat.
So Ann says he messed with the KFC honey barbecue sauce though. Some people like honey barbecue, so we finding out that folks don't mess with
Yeah, I'm not
honey
really
barbecue.
a honey anything. Honey only goes in tea. And
Oh, Kumar, you went to that
like,
camp too. That camp was super dope. It was the funny. The camp was about basketball and reading. You know what I'm saying? So it can range from 25 to 500 per physical stock certificate, depending on the brokerage. Wow.
damn, you can buy more stock with that.
Yeah, I know. It's like, do I want to get the stock certificate or do I want to, I ain't gonna front though. Having a certificate is kind of fire though.
Yeah,
I want to
you
do
put
that.
that on your wall. You can get
I'm
a
about to
little
make my
shaky
own
with that.
joints. I'm about to make my own joints. You know what I'm saying? I just want to walk around like James Bond with a bunch of like, in James Bond, they always use bearer bonds, right? And
Yeah, they did.
again, it was finance lessons in movies back in the day. And the reason they used bearer bonds is because it was straight like cash. You know what I'm saying? Um, Mecca said the same thing, man. Can't stand orange chicken either. Yo, y'all hate. I like orange chicken, dog. Like, yo, oh man, y'all. Let me ask y'all this, and last thing, because we about to get out of here. Y'all don't mess with Corey. You don't mess with Mike's hot honey.
No,
Wow,
no.
wow. Where the honey hustler at, man? Corey with his honey slander,
Hey,
man.
no, whoa, there's no slander on honey. I like honey. I just don't like it on my meat. Pause, pause, pause. See, now you got me sounding like Kamari. No, I just don't like it on my meat. So no,
All right,
absolutely not.
all right, respect. Outside of Giovanni, I'm telling y'all, Giovanni. You know what I'm saying? They got. Anyway, man, listen. This Saturday, November 1st, 108 East Price Street. We'll be in the building. Live and in living color, the first Saturday of every month, probably with the exception of January. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We might have to pull up January. If the Fed still shut down, our January thing might be like a food giveaway or something, man. Like
Yeah, it might have to be.
we might
'Cause
gotta
the
do.
thing is, I
And
might
also,
not be in
man,
town because I still gotta, I still probably be in Houston at that time.
yo, I also want to shout out Pastor John. Again, I want to shout him out and salute him because as much slander as we give a lot of these pastors that are taking money, he gives back. He gives more food away in Germantown section of Philadelphia than anybody. Like he has a food pantry where they have a whole operation that gives away food. He gave us this space, is not charging us because of the work that we're doing. So he gave us the space to do that. So I just want to let y'all know there are still pastors out there. And listen, shout out to our homie, Pastor Eubanks, who's with us in the chat every Friday.
Yeah,
He's
man.
someone that he gives away money to our community. So we do have some good pastors out there who preach the word, but are also doing the work. I know so many times we talk about those that don't, but I gotta live my raps. I want to also make sure I salute those that are doing the good work and not just slander those
Yeah,
that are doing
man.
the bad work, man. So shout
Then,
out to
then
Pastor John
again,
and shout out to
I
Pastor Eubanks.
and I don't slander nobody slander religion more than I do. But the thing about it is, good men is good men regardless of what they believe in.
There you
And
go.
I
That's a
mean,
bar.
like, and so these gentlemen, they really out here helping us put in the work. And I can't leave out the ladies that support these men. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, these are, you know, class A human beings.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think what you said at the end of the day is really what it boils down to, man. Good people are good people, right?
yeah, class A human beings, man.
Yeah. So last couple comments and we're gonna get out here and says that hot honey is nuts pause. Dog, I got some in the crib right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I had a little some chicken last night. Can't even lie to y'all, man. I'm with Corey. Honey barbecue wings are trash. Y'all just ain't had the right ones yet, man. That's the thing, right? Y'all ain't had the right ones,
Like I
man.
said, the ones we had last week is fire because I was like, "What is this?" Because I don't even like this,
Yeah,
and
Corey was like, I don't even like this.
I was taken aback, like, "Ooh, these." I was taken fully by surprise because I do not like sweet
All right.
balls.
Thunder says stock. Some of them stock certificates look like artwork. Y'all gotta get some, man. Y'all gonna have me spend money that I could probably just be investing just to get some certificates. All right. Wow, honey on my meat is insane.
That's what I'm saying. He got me out here sounding like Kamari. Like,
All right. So Mecca says I tried some honey barbecue shrimp tacos a decade ago at Chili's. Never been back since. No sweetmeats. Listen, you got to give it a try. Someone you got to go to somewhere that knows what they're doing, man. All
no,
right.
man.
Google GE stock certificate in Abbott's Labs. All right. I gotta do that. I gotta write this down because I'm gonna forget to do it. Matter of fact, let me just take a picture of this. I will do it. Pause. But I want to take a picture so I can do it once we get off here, man. So all right, I gotta see what they look like, man. I don't even own either one of those companies, but let me find out. Speaking of pastors, I finally got around to reading Build, Brother Build.
Yeah, man. You gotta.
That's
Yeah,
why
man.
he's the GOAT. Oh,
Yeah,
I keep that on the desk, man.
absolute gold. Reverend
I keep that
Leon Sullivan.
I keep that on the desk right here, man. Shout out to Reverend Leon Sullivan, man. Listen,
Absolute gold.
listen, for those who don't know, especially if you in Philadelphia, right? If you in Philadelphia and you don't know the history of Reverend Leon Sullivan, you gotta do the knowledge. Get this book. This book is a must-have. Reverend Leon Sullivan laid the blueprint out for us years ago. Some of us dropped the ball, but some of us are still trying to build. So I want to make sure for those that don't know this history, matter of fact, before you even read the book, do your Googles. Look up Reverend Leon Sullivan. Look at some of his speeches. Read some of his writings. This brother right here is an absolute Philadelphia legend. I want to make
Gold.
sure that everybody gets this. So shout out to Don because Don said that he finally got around to reading the book. So Don, I keep a book I keep this at my desk as one of my inspirations. So shout out to Reverend Leon Sullivan. All right. So with that being said, Don said, can we create a list of fire sweet?
No, do not.
All right, we going off the rails. This is not Friday, man. It's the Lord's Day, man. It's the NFL day, man. Speaking of NFL day, man, I'm getting cooked right now in my fantasy game, and it's crazy because the games haven't started, but both of me and my opponent had a player going on Thursday. I had Justin Jefferson. He had McConkey. The fact that he doubled me up with McConkey with Jefferson is kind of wild to me. So that shows you where my week is about to go, bro. That's not supposed to happen, man.
You about to get cooked.
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen, dog. Like McConkey ain't supposed to outscore Justin Jefferson by double. That's not supposed to happen, man. Anyway, I'm almost done with my copy of BBB. It's a great book. Salute to Jarrell, man. Hey, Jarrell be in the books, man. Jarrell, next month we gonna really wrap. I know it's the end of October, so we really gonna wrap. We trying to by the new year, we want to have some sort of organization. We are gonna do a real book club. It may not be a lot of folks, but I want folks that are going serious, that want to read and go through these books and have conversations. And Jarrell is going to run that for us for the village. But we're going to talk about some structure to make sure that it's like, we actually meet once a month and talk about the things that we're reading and make it something that we can get some value from because we can build from that. Like, and make sure we're reading stuff, man. I got tons of books all around me. I got multiple bookshelves in this room, but But the thing is, I'm always looking to build with people that I want to read and have real conversations about the stuff that we read. So, but I'm glad Jarrell is reading the book too. Bill, brother Bill, man, it's a classic material. With that being said, listen, we love you guys. We appreciate you. For those that are in the area, next Saturday, November 1st, you'll see on the timeline all this week. I'm gonna post about it because I want to make sure that we get people to register. Go to bthcamp.com to register. That is bthcamp.com. But we will be in the community, 108 East Price Street, completely free. Remember, it's free. And remember, we also feed you, so you can get some of the honey barbecue wings too if you pull.
I'm not eating no more of those, man.
Matter of fact, y'all, I'm gonna get some for the village, for people in the village. I'm gonna get some photos of Corey because he's saying that now, but I'm gonna get some photos.
I only ate the sweet wings because pizza do something disgustingly terrible to my body, and we found that out again at we just did a thing.
We did. We was at E9, right? So E9, like, we doing a program for the youth. So E9 gets all this pizza for the kids, and Corey know him better. He's going crazy on the pizza. Next thing I know, we in a car in the parking lot. You see Corey running back to E9. He's like, "Oh, my stomach!" He's ready.
Yo, absolute destruction, yo. Like I could not function. I was dysfunctional for the rest of the day. I had two slices of pizza, bro.
But it's funny because people that are lactose intolerant, they know they are, but y'all can't help yourself.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with the taste of pizza. I like the taste of pizza, but oh God, yo, 2 slices of pizza did me something crazy. Like it was absolutely. I'm in the car falling out like, oh my God.
I was sitting telling Kamari. Next thing I turn around, the Corey is running in the building. I said, "Oh, look at Corey looking like Usain Bolt trying to get to the building." I said, I already know what that's about. I know what that's about.
Yo, my insides was on Terror Squad. Yo, my insides was on Terror Squad, bro. Like never again. Like, and so we bought pizza and wings for the young boys. I knew better, one place, and then I actually, you know what I mean? Like, I played myself extra hard at Enoch.
Hey, Cookie. Good morning, Cookie. Good morning, Cookie. Also, I want to shout out Cookie and everybody else that pulled up yesterday. We did have our class with the Deltas that went like smooth, and a lot of y'all pulled up. So I want to thank y'all as well for always showing up for us, man. Y'all always show up, and it's definitely appreciated. I want y'all to know that it was appreciated. Who do y'all think? I didn't see the full thing, but I was watching clips online. To me, from what I saw and the clips I saw, it looks like Mia X won. Right, because Mia X was going crazy, and Mia X by the way, Mia X looks amazing. By the way, y'all see Mia X? She's 55. She looks amazing, bro.
Yeah.
She was always cute, but like Mia X looked amazing. But anyway,
very well.
Yeah, hey, that's what black women tend to do, dog.
Yeah,
I tell y'all that. No one ages like a black woman, dog. Black women age amazingly, right? Because you ever look at like some of the pictures of actresses in Hollywood, and they'll show like a black actress and someone from a different, I don't even want to say, it doesn't matter, and they're like, these are the same age, and you like, are they though? Anyway,
can't be.
Jamil was in the building too. Great class yesterday. Thank you, Jamil. Thank you. I'm glad you got something from it, man. But we appreciate y'all. Check us out in the village. We got a lot more. So I know it's like, wow, man, y'all keep saying that, but we've been stockpiling things to post strictly for the village, because one of the things we're looking at moving into 2026 is supporting the village more, right? Not just a bunch of YouTube stuff, but supporting the village more and have things that are exclusive to the village. And we've already started that. Kamari dropped the LLC class that he did with Kelly. That's back there. And this next project that we're working on, we've already got 5 things shot live and in living color. So, and by the way, Corey is our director of this next project. Corey is Spike Kugler is his new name. He's the executive producer and director. So Corey's new nickname is Spike Kugler. He's Spike Kugler. So, but it's gonna be super dope though. So for everybody in the village, we appreciate you guys for supporting us and staying there with us. Go to blackwealthrebels.com. If you're not already there, just go to blackwealthrebels.com, and that will allow you to get in the village. And that's what we're going to super serve moving into the next year. We're going to super serve the babies in the community, and we're going to super serve the village, because the village are the people that actually support us. And a lot of times we get throttled on these different polls, on these different social media accounts. So having our own space with our own people is very important to us, because that way we're able to share information, because information gap is a big problem in our community. And this is one of the things we want to, and it's not just us. It's not saying that we are be all end all, right? The idea is we bring in people that know more than we do. So even this week, 108 Price Street, we have someone coming in to teach about animation and someone coming in to teach about HVAC, because I don't know nothing about either one of those spaces. All I know is my HVAC people be charging me an arm and a leg. That's what I know. It's the only thing I know, bro. I be telling my kids and my family to get in the trades. They be like, "You think the trade?" I'm like, "Look, the trades is where the money at." I said, also, I want to be able to call y'all because I know what I pay. So it is what it is, man. All right. So last couple comments and we are out of here. Is it true that Wayne didn't show up because Cash Money owe him bread? I heard that. Who knows what the facts are? Mia X was the MVP and Snoop's breath control was impeccable and professional. Hey, Snoop is a professional, man. Corey, try taking charcoal tablets for eating pizza. It definitely helps me. Oh, so you another one of those lactose intolerant people that refuse to stop eating pizza, huh? I heard that. Shit. Okay, there you go, Corey. You ever tried that before?
No, I
don't even know what a charcoal tablet is. Is that like
I do know what a charcoal tablet is because it's the same thing they told me to take because I get weird sensations when I'm on a boat. So that's something that somebody told me to take when I go on boats also. So
there you go. So Jarrell says, after we handle this book group together, I want to start talking about ways to keep my youngins educated. Man, that's what we're here for, Jarrell. That's what we're here for.
All you got to do is say the word. I can get you. Jimmy, send him my phone number so he can call me.
I got you. I can
handle that for him without no questions.
There you go, Jarrell. I'll connect you two brothers, man. Corey is old boy who shot money and violence. Wrath. Listen, man, shot the money and violence, man. You gotta respect your jaw. Anyway, man, with that being said, though, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. I'm not sure. So the reason we haven't really been on Wednesdays is because we've been shooting a bunch of stuff for the village, right? But we are always on Fridays. That's our Bitcoin giveaway. We're always gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But next Sunday as well. But Saturday, make sure to check in with us. And also check our social media during the week because I'm gonna post a lot of stuff about the camp and the different games and things we got going on. So I'm JW the Blueprint. Corey's Above Average Savage on IG, and By the Hood, the Black Wealth Rebels, and Kamari is the Finance Rebel. So with that being said, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Stay safe out there, y'all. Peace.